Hey guys, what is up? Andrew here, and today we are going to be taking a long-term look at the Carli updated ball joints for the 03 to 12 Ram trucks. Now, I got kind of put in a unique position because Carli actually used my truck to help prototype and develop these ball joints, and it got put in a video for CJC. So I actually got one of the earliest sets of these ball joints that was out, actually even before the release. At this point, I have almost 10,000 miles in these ball joints. So I figured I would kind of give you guys a little bit of insight, since I'm kind of one of the longest running people with this new updated ball joint, and give you my honest thoughts and opinions on this joint. So to start out, this truck has had a heck of a lot of ball joints in it. It has had OEM Ram, it's had Moog, it has had 2 sets of Synergies, and then I've also been in a lot of trucks that have Dynatrac and EMF, so that kind of puts me in a unique position to talk about, how these ball joints feel compared to a lot of the competition. When Carli set out to update these ball joints, it wasn't necessarily because the old style design needed updating, right? This is the second revision of this ball joint, and it was a really solid ball joint before. It's been a really reliable ball joint, same metal on metal design. But basically, when Carli set out to design the ball joint for the new 2014 Plus trucks, they made some changes in the process and figured they may as well apply those to the 03 to 12 ball joints, so that their ball joints are all the same across the whole lineup. If you have the older style Carli ball joints, don't worry, these aren't a huge departure from what you have, but they do have some updates, and we'll take a look at those. To sum it up, basically what's different is in the lower ball joint primarily. So now there is a grease evacuation port in the lower ball joint. So when you put grease in, you can evacuate that grease out and really cycle it through. Originally it was a sealed system, right? There was no evacuation port. Carli just figured, may as well, why not do it? It wasn't like they had a lot of issues with dirt intrusion or anything, but you may as well be able to do it now. They also updated the way the ball joint goes together. It's still a metal on metal design, but it is actually preloaded to the wear surface using a spring, and then it's sealed with a rubber boot. Traditionally with that 03 to 12 ball joint design, the ball joints tend to be a little bit tight out of the box, right? You had to let them break in. These ones actually feel really good straight out of the gate. So Carli kind of changed some of the tolerances there to make them feel a little bit better out of the box. So that's a cool change. You don't really have that noticeable break-in period anymore. Pretty much you put these in your truck and it's good to go. So that's a nice change. For what it's worth, Dan Torino at Carli also told me that he ran these joints without the rubber boot on his truck and still has them without the rubber boot, and has had 0 water or dirt intrusion. So if you are worried about that rubber boot, don't be. It really is just there as an extra protection, but even if you don't have that, these ball joints are still very sealed. Now, as far as driving impressions go on these ball joints, I really think that a good ball joint is one that you don't notice, right? The only time you ever notice a ball joint is when there's play, there's something wrong with it, or when it's really stiff and sticky. So I will say this ball joint was one that I just put in the truck and everything drove nice, perfect, straight down the road. It wasn't sticky, it didn't pull, and it just works perfect. Now, what makes these Carli ball joints really unique is their metal on metal design. So most ball joints out there have a wear surface, right? There is something that is designed to be worn. So you can either, some have like self-adjusting things like the Synergy, other ones can be rebuilt in the truck like EMF. Carli basically was like, why bother with that? Let's make a ball joint that lasts the entire lifespan of the truck. So they set out to make a ball joint that is a metal on metal design. And more importantly, they used a lot of proprietary coatings and techniques in the construction of that ball joint that they won't tell me about, but makes it really reliable. So what's crazy about this ball joint, it is a lifetime guaranteed part. So that's kind of wild when you think about it, because ball joints are traditionally a wear item on a vehicle, right? Just like brake pads, you replace them. These ball joints are meant to last as long as this truck is running on the road, regardless of mileage. And Carli takes that seriously enough that they actually back them up with a lifetime guarantee. So if you have premature wear in these ball joints and you get play, send a video to Carli and they will send you a new set of ball joints. So the only downtime is how long it takes you to put those ball joints in your truck. And there's no other ball joint on the market that offers that guarantee. Now, these are more expensive than most ball joints on the market. They're actually not too much worse than the Dynatrac, which makes it a hard choice to choose between those two. Pretty much these are the premier offering for these 03 to 12 trucks. And that will apply to 13s as well. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a ball joint for these trucks and you're trying to swallow the price tag that's attached to these, I will say I do think it's worth it. If you're planning on keeping your truck for a long period of time, if you're running like I am, 37s, you're off-roading your truck, you're using it hard, there really is no better ball joint that can offer the kind of wear and durability that these can. Carli put years of effort into these ball joints, and they're in a completely and totally American-made product. Everything from the ball joint to the coatings to the development to the box to the tape, everything's US made. So if you like supporting US companies, which I do, that's another really big benefit of these ball joints. So yes, they do have a hefty price tag, but like all things in life, you usually get what you pay for. So I personally think that these ball joints were worth the money I spent on them. That's up to you guys to make that call. Obviously, there's a lot of other good options on the market, but if you're looking for the best, I really think this is it. Basically, every oil change, you jack the front of the truck up from the axle so that the front wheels are unloaded, and then a couple pumps of grease. Carli actually even supplies grease in the box with the ball joints that you can use, and that's it. Other than that, you just run these ball joints and enjoy your truck. It doesn't matter what you're doing with these things, they will hold up, they will last. I've been really happy with mine, and I will update as I go on with this ball joint. So now we're at 10,000 miles, I'll update as we go. But I really don't expect a lot of issues. I've had a bunch of friends that have the older style ball joints and they've had no issues either. These are seriously an amazing rock solid set of ball joints. They're expensive, but like I said, you get what you pay for. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them. Happy to speak candidly and openly about all the ball joints I've run. But definitely think that these are one of the best ball joints on the market, and definitely the best ball joints that I've ever tried. The reliability, the lifetime guarantee, the fact that they will hold up to anything I can throw at them is really nice. Peace of mind when I'm out off-roading my truck, going to remote places, and I have confidence in these ball joints.